I didn't lose this money in a market crash. I didn't pick a bad stock. I lost it and I'm still losing it to a single fee nobody ever explained to me. On the numbers I'm about to put on this board, that fee is on track to cost over $130,000. And I'll show you every single step of the math. This is about mutual fund fees in Canada, one number called the MER. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll have the 2-minute check that tells you if this is happening to you right now. Because this happened to me. Mid-20s, I walked into my bank, said, "I'd like to start investing, please," and signed whatever the nice person slid across the desk. Mutual funds. I felt like a genius. Nobody said the word fee, not once. And I never thought to ask. That silence quietly cost me thousands over just my first few years. And be honest, you've probably done a version of this too. Most Canadians have. So let's fix it together, starting with the one number that actually matters. It's called the MER, the management expense ratio. It's the slice of your investment the fund company keeps every single year, whether your money grew or not. In Canada, equity mutual funds typically run around 2% a year. A broad index ETF, typically around 0.2, 10 times less for basically the same job. Here's the sneaky part. You never get a bill. The fee is skimmed off inside the fund before your returns ever reach your statement. So the statement just looks a little smaller forever. So where is it hiding? Every fund sold in Canada has to publish it in a short document called Fund Facts. It's right near the top. Remember that name? It's your 2-minute check later. Now be honest with me. 2% sounds like nothing, right? A rounding error. That's exactly why it works. Watch what it does over a lifetime. This is the part that made me feel sick. Let's say it out loud so it's fair. $500 a month for 30 years, and markets average 6% a year before fees. Illustrative numbers, but reasonable ones. In the typical 2% fund, your net growth is about 4%. Run it, and your $500 a month becomes roughly $347,000. Same $500 a month in a roughly 0.2% index fund, net about 5.8, grows to roughly $483,000. Same deposits, same market. The difference is about $136,000 gone to the fee. Not a crash, not a bad pick, a fee. That's a house down payment. That's years of retirement, and you'd never see it leave because it never shows up as a loss. Just as growth, you quietly didn't get. And in case you think I cherry picked that example, here's the version that surprised me the most. One single deposit. Watch what the fee eats. Take $10,000 invested once for 30 years at that same 6%. In the high fee fund, it grows to about $32,400. In the low fee fund, about $54,300. The gap is roughly $21,800. On this example, the fee ate about 40% of what that money could have become, at more than double the original deposit. So here's the 2-minute check I promised. Grab any fund you own, Google its name, plus the words Fund Facts, open the document, and find the line that says MER. If that number is anywhere near 2%, well, you just watched exactly what it can cost. Low-fee index funds exist at every big Canadian brokerage. That's general information, not a recommendation of any specific fund. That check is exactly how I finally caught mine. I moved my money into low-cost index ETFs and never looked back. The only thing I regret is the decade it took me to look. So here's where I've landed after all of it. Markets go up and down and you can't control that. But the fee is the one number you actually get to choose. Choose it on purpose. Now do the check. Go find your fund's MER and drop it in the comments because I genuinely want to see how bad it gets out there. And if you're wondering where the low fee version should live, TFSA or RRSP first, that video is next. Subscribe and I'll walk you through the whole beginner path, one plain language step at a time.